Yep, good evening. So, yesterday we learned one example. You started designing that hotel. Yeah, you tried designing it. Hmm. Yesterday we learned one KFC form how to design. So, based on same concept, you have to try the hotel registration. I uploaded the diagram now, right? So that is related to operators. All those topics we are discussing related to operators. So that is assignment operators. How we can use assignment operators. So we have arithmetic operators and assignment operators. We also have logical comparison operators. We also have comparison operators. Comparison operators, actually comparison operators we have like double equal. So this is considered as equal. Triple equal, we call it as identical equal. And not equal, this is not equal. And we have greater than, and greater than or equal, equal, and we have less than, and less than or equal, lesser than or equal, than or equal. All these are comparison operators. Greater than, less than, all these general things already we know, but the frequently asked question is, what is difference between double equal and triple equal? That is very regular question in interviews actually. So difference between double equal and triple equal. Actually, double equal is nothing but double equal. It can compare two values of different types. You can compare two values of different types by using double equal. In that case, sometimes wrong comparisons will happen. For example, suppose I am writing here comparison operators, right? Yeah. So suppose I am writing here simple where x is equal to 10. It is a string actually, where y is equal to 10. It is number. And document dot write, I return here x equal to y. And I want to print that result. That is x double equal y. That is what we are doing. So string 10 and number 10. So what double equal can do is, it can convert and compare. So it can convert and compare. That means this string is 10. It is converted into number and it is compared. So in that case, it will be true. It will be true. But that is not good. We should never compare different types. We should compare only same types. We should never compare different types. Same types only should be compared. In that case, now we can use, this is true. Let me keep here comment as true. Now suppose I am using here document.write. So I defined x triple equal y. Triple equal y is nothing but important is x triple equal y. What this can do is it can compare only same types. That means it is false. That means it will not allow to compare different types. So if x is number, then only it can compare, or y is string, then only it can compare. Both must be same type. So you can see it will return false. So double equal is returning true, triple equal is returning false, because double equal can convert the number string and compare. That is why 10 10 it is true. But this is false because it is not allowing to convert. So any another data type you are trying to compare will be always false when we are using triple equal. So always use triple equal for strict compare. People call in different ways. They call it as identical equal, they call it as strict equal, anything same. Identical equal, strict equal, so that is same, right? So what triple equal can do is it can compare two values of same type only. Any other type it is invalid. Example is this. This is one small option for comparison. Now we can implement these in various examples. Already we saw some examples. So we can implement in various examples. Suppose see what we will do here is I will design one simple form with some validation. So let's say greater than, less than. Here I define like operators, comparison. Okay. Next here I am using heading user login, and here I defined data list, data term. So and username, data definition, input type is equal to text, and password, and data definition here input type is password. So here we have some options to configure. So I say login. I need to verify that username, password are matching with what we entered. Then generally what we do is we will write a function. So login click. On login click, username get element by id, txt name dot value. We will give that id here, txt name. This is txt pwd password. So here I'm accessing password. Document get element by id txt pwd dot value. Now here I am writing a condition. First, if username already we may have some data also. We will do one more work here. We will go to data, and here we will add a new users.json file. We are adding users.json file. In users.json file, we are creating an array of users. It will have username, so some username. So that is the username and some password. And password john@11. Okay. We have some users here. So username and password. So only these people can log in. Wait, like this, I given the password. Only these people can log in. Any other users cannot log in. In that case, what we have to do now, we have to get the data from there. We already know how to get the data from there. So we will use a simple fetch method here. Fetch from where it is dot slash in that data slash users dot JSON. Dot then we will use a callback function, and here response return response dot JSON. Dot then we have a callback function and data, and here we have to verify. Then it is an array. Data is an array. We have to read every user. So for where user of data, actually this data is nothing but it will collect all users, right? I will give reasonably the collection name as users. User of user. If user dot username is matching triple equal, it is matching. You can use double equal also, but we prefer using triple equal now because data type also should match exact. No numbers, nothing allowed. So always use triple equal here. So when user name is matching with whatever username you entered, it is matching with username you entered. This is from the text box you entered. If it is matching, then what should happen? If username is matching, we can simply put one simple message, document dot write. I will say login success. I am verifying only username, right? Currently I am using username only. And after that, else we have to put an alert, say invalid user name. That message I am just giving. Alert or some heading somewhere you keep. Suppose I will keep align as center and ID as MSG. Here I will keep the message. So document get element by ID MSG dot inner HTML invalid user name. Like this I define. Here some more points are there. I will tell you here. Usually now this is on login click we have to write. On click we have to use login click. Login click have to fetch the data and verify. Now I am typing here the username. Username is some username, some Sam, some password, and login invalid username. I entered some username John underscore NIT. So some password. Currently we are not verifying password. User can enter any password, then login success. That means we are comparing and we are verifying from the data we have. Later this data will come from API or database anywhere. As of now, we have a JSON. From there we are comparing. Now comparison operators, actually these comparison operators can use, they can use logical operators combination. Logical operators means we have logical and so we have logical or, so logical not negation, and indicates that means it returns true if all expressions all expressions evaluate to true. So or means it returns true. It returns true if any one expression evaluate to true, right? Not. So that means so it returns when when it is not true. That is what actually not negation. Actually here username I entered, so this end is written like this. We have double ampersand actually. That is called as logical end. We call it as logical end. And or is defined with this one. This is logical or. We have to configure that as logical or. And not is defined as negation like this. This is not. That means that is not true. That's how we configure. That means if I written like this, so not true, that means it is equal to what? False. You are negating it, right? Not true. Technically, now you see this is one expression. I have to verify password also. Then combine another expression and both should match. Then double ampersand. Double ampersand indicates that the first expression, second expression, both should be true. That what is second expression? User dot password. Password is matching with the password. If username and password both are matching, then only login success. Otherwise, it will say invalid username or password like this. This is logical end. If I use logical or, it means any one is okay. That means username or password. Any one matched, then it should log in. For that, I will tell you another situation here. Initially end. Both should match. As per the conditions, both should match. Now here I am entering username. Password is wrong. Then invalid username or password. Because John password is John at the net 11. So John at the net 11. So login, it should say login success. That means both should match. Username should match, password should match. You entered the username correct, so and password is wrong, still it's not working. So password is also correct. So password is also correct, then login success. That's how we can handle the logical operators. That means comparison as well as logical. Here see, I'm using double equal, reasonable, just to tell you the point. Both are same, but this will be not a good option when data type is some other value coming, some numbers coming. So always use which one? Triple equal, because you have to strictly compare with type. Double equal also works, no problem. But when you are comparing numbers and it is coming from a text box, then even you entered a string, but it is comparing with a number, it will allow to compare if both looks similar. So I should not compare whether both are looking similar. I have to compare both values are similar. What double equal will do is it will compare both are looking similar or not. Right? I don't want both looking similar. I want both value similar, type similar. In that case, we have to use this triple equal. Always prefer triple equal when you expect the value coming in a different type. If you are comparing similar type, so then use triple equal. Different types, then use double equal, right? So this is another point about how we can use logical. So when to use or like options, later you will see examples. Here, actually, for example, I will use one more option here. I will do one more work here. What we can do is, in users I will use as mobile, and mobile is so 987654321 that is one mobile, another mobile. So mobile, and here I defined as suppose 998765431, like this I define. Now important is user can log in username or mobile. User can log in with username or mobile. That means username or mobile, anyone should work. Then how to write the logic? So that means here what is the comparison we have to do? The comparison is username. So username should match with, username is nothing but collecting from text box. Username should match with username. So here I will put a parenthesis, right? Or I will write or username dot mobile is matching with what? The username. Username is nothing but it is having both mobile and name both we are storing in one location only. That means if username is mobile or username is username, right? If any one matching, it's okay. That means any one out of these two should match, but both should match. That means password also should match and username or mobile should match. This is the condition how you define. That means now suppose I am writing here. So I am writing here as suppose John and some password. So that is invalid. Password I given John at the net 11. Yeah, John at the net 11. Password I given. And here instead of John NIT, say login success. With username it is using, I will use another option, John and John at the net 11. That is the password I entered, right? And it says invalid, but this time I am using mobile number 987654321. That is his mobile number. And click on login, it will work. That means they can log in with mobile or they can log in with username. But username, mobile, anyone should compulsory match. And password also should match, right? That means here we have two options to compare here. If username is matching with the name or username is matching with the mobile, out of these two anyone can match, okay? But out of these two both should match. That means username or mobile should match and password also must match. Then we have to use AND, logical AND. This is one example for handling such comparisons. This is another example for comparison. Later when you learn conditions, you will learn more things. Means you will learn more criteria, conditions, how to define. But for these two examples, I am getting the data from a file. That file I will give here. What is the file? So data is present in data in users dot JSON file. In users.json file, this is the data I kept. For both examples, that is the data. So we are fetching the data from JSON and we are comparing and we are handling this. So these are comparison operators and logical operators. It's not finished. Future everywhere we will use them. I just given some reasonable examples here. That means in future, in different examples, we will use them. And now another important in the JavaScript operators, we have another important special operators. Bitwise operators, not now. I will teach you about bitwise operators in Node.js. While learning Node.js, we will come across with binary operations, means memory, bits, binaries. There I will give you an overview of how to use bitwise operators because they are related to memory streams. We have to understand that memory stream, then you can easily implement them. Bitwise operator. Special operators, JavaScript special operators, so many are there. Out of those, one already we learned. One is a ternary operator, right? Ternary operator comes under special operator category also. Ternary operator is a special operator. You know the purpose. What it is? Question mark, colon. Already we used that operator. Next, in special operators, you have an operator type of. Type of is an operator. What is the purpose of type of? It returns the data type of value stored in a reference. That means we have a variable or we have some data in some variable, a property. How to know the data type? I showed you already this, right? So in previous example, one concept I showed you that if data is coming from remote location, how do we know what data is coming? I told you now already how to know all the properties. In map example, I told you how to read all the keys, how to know the data types. One example I already given. There I used this. What is type of? Type of means it returns what data type is stored in a variable, in a reference. For that we need type of. Type of. Already we learned that. So for example, here I will add here special HTML. Yeah. Here I am defining just a script I will give. So here we are using simple var product, and it is an object. It have name, and it have price, and it have stock, true or false. Like this we have some details. Now rating, it is an object, some rate as some 4, like this we have. Now I want to know what is the data type of stock or rating or property. Just what you have to do, document dot write. We have to just use type of product dot stock. If I say what product dot stock, then it returns the data type is Boolean. What is the data type stored inside that reference? You can access by using type of. Already I showed you this, how to read all properties and their data types. For that, what you can do, you can write for var property in, right? Property in product. It is reading all the properties. Document dot write, we will print the property name. We will print the property name. We will print the property name. So BR, then it is going to print all the properties, name, price, stock, rating. What type is present inside them? Then we have to read product. Here we have to read product dot type of product of property. That means it will read every value from the product and it will return the value type. So this is going to return its type. That means what is name, what is price, what is stock, data types. So in order to verify what type of data is present in any specific reference, we have to use an operator called type of. This is example already I showed you previously, and now we can just make a note about this, that is type of. Another important in the operators, we have another operator, instance of. But this you will learn in OOP concept. Just overview I will give you. Instance of is nothing but it returns boolean true if given object is instance of a specified class, is instance of specified class. That means later you will learn OOP concepts, object oriented programming. When we are working with object oriented programming, we have to work with objects derived from different classes. So objects and classes. So when we are working with an object, we have to compare and we have to verify whether this object belongs to that class or not. That means, is the object that I am using belonging to that particular class or not? We have to check that once. For that we use this instance of. That means, for example, suppose here I have a class. Later we will learn about class. Suppose employee, that is the class. And we have another class called product. Okay, now I am creating LET, TV is equal to new product. That means TV is an product object. And LET, some SAM is equal to new employee. SAM is employee object. Now, generally, we can simply use document.write. Here, I can write. So TV is employee. TV is employee. How to verify that? So we can use like this: TV instance of which class? You have to define the class name. Instance of what? Product. That's how I am writing. TV is instance of product. I am writing like this: TV is instance of product. It is employee. It is product. It is true. It is comparing as what? Employee. Then it says that it is false. That means TV is not employee type, right? TV is instance of employee. We are verifying, is it employee type? Then it is saying that no, it is not employee type. Then I will use another comparison here. What is that? I am just writing document.write. So TV is product. How do we verify? Just we have to use TV instance of what is it? Product. That means now it will say that yes, TV is product type. It is not employee type. It is going to return true or false. It is going to return true or false. Now I will tell you one point. Actually, in many interviews, they give like this. So they give like this, actually, document.write. So TV is object. TV is object. So, and here I am defining here. So TV instance of, I give an object. TV instance of object. What do you say? Is it true or false? TV is instance of object. TV is actually instance of what? Product. But in JavaScript, every instance is an object. Array instance is an object. Date instance is an object. String instance is an object. Every instance is an object. That means if anything is compared as object, it will be always true. Always true. That means you can see it is true. For example, I will show you here. Suppose, see, I'm using another option. Suppose LET, some details, say products. Products is equal to new array. Array is also a class. So what we are doing here, I am writing an option here, document dot write. So I defined products is array. How to verify products is array? So products instance of what? Array. Then you can see that products is an array, then it will return true. Right? I will write in another way here. What I will do is I will say that products is object. But already you learned that object means in curly brace, na? Right? But array is also considered as an object. So that because actually array instances are considered as object. That means now it will return this also as true. But actually many people think that object means in the curly brace you have key and value. In the block you have key and value. But remember, any instance of a class is considered as an object. Any instance of class, is it array, is it date, is it employee, anything, it is considered as object. This is one important here. So instance of, this is another example for that. So one is ternary, another one type of, another one instance of. Next in the operators, so next in the special operators, we have delete operator. Already I told you, map and object, two options. What is the purpose of delete operator? It is used to delete any key from an object. Am I right? Key, or you can call as property. You can delete any key or property from an object. You can delete any key or property from an object by using delete. Syntactically, how you define? So product delete, we can simply write delete. So suppose product dot name, that means it will delete that name property. Already I give an example, no need to do that. In map, you have a delete method, but in object, we have delete operator. I given in an FAQ also when I discussed that point. Generally, object needs a delete operator and map have a delete method to delete any particular property. We have an in operator. What is the purpose? In operator. In operator is nothing but it is used to verify a property in object, whether the property available or not. If property is available, it will return true. If not available, it will return false. This we are using for in also. For in, actually in is an operator. What is the purpose of in operator? It will verify whether there is an property by that name or not. For example, we have where product is equal to object name. So, and we have price, and so, and we have some stock. So like this, we have some details, stock, true or false. Now here we are verifying. So document dot write, and we are configuring here. What is it? So I am writing here property name. Property name is nothing but so stock, or I will say rating. Rating in product. That means is product product rating, product rating available. Is product rating available? We are asking that question, right? Is product rate available? False, because there is no rating property. Suppose later if I put rating and I put some rating here, then you can see it says that true. That means if any property is not there, if any property is not there, it will return false. We can verify whether a property is available or not by using in operator. But actually what we are doing, we are using in operator with for. In operator by using for. So technically in operator is used to verify. So whether that particular available or not, right? It is used for verifying the properties, right? We use this for reading all the properties from any object by using for. Another operator we use it with for. What is that operator? Another operator we used of. That means it is used for verifying all values in an iterator, right? While working with an iterator, we have to use of. Already we learned that for var value of collection. Am I right? There is another option. What is it? For var property in collection. It will read all properties and it will read all values. These are all special operators. These are special operators. In the special operators, we also have another important special operator, that is void. Void actually it discards. It discards the return value of any expression. Actually returns discards the return value of any expression. That is what actually void means. Generally basic people who are not technically aware, they will tell that void means no return type. That is ordinary freshers answer. If anybody says void is no return type, you can understand his level of experience, right? So technically experience level, void discards the return value. That is the meaning of void. Actually it discards the return value of any expression. So what is this void type where we can use in different situations? For example, see here, suppose I am creating a link. Suppose I am having the body section and here I have a link, and I return home. Now when I return a link like this and I sent this code for testing, my testing team will report error. Why error? Because they will say that there is a link without any href, because link should have an href. But why I return like that? Because that link I designed, but it is later implemented by the clients. Means I just designed it, implementation will be done later. Then my testing team should know that. How to tell the testing team that this is a link which will not return anything now? Later it can return. So when they implement, if not implemented, it will not return anything. So if you leave like this, then it is error. For example, if I write href and leave it empty, this is also error. This is also error. Now this time my testing team will report that href is empty. Previously they say that no href. Now they will say that href is empty. Now some people at fresher level, generally here and there in websites when they learn, they will tell that, sir, we can put hash. That is also invalid. Why? Because what hash means, we learned intra-document links. Na? Hash means ID reference. That means now my testing team will report that ID is missing. You are trying an hash means you are trying ID. And you haven't mentioned ID. Then it is also invalid. Then how do I tell? So you see, this link is now there. And when I click on it, it is working, visited. It is visited, it is showing here. But what I visited, that is invalid. That is the reason this is also invalid. Then how do I tell that this is not implemented now? It will not return anything now. For that, we just put JavaScript and there we put void. That means we will tell through JavaScript that it will not return anything. It will not return anything. So this is perfect. Now, when I go here, you can see there is a link. You can observe we have a link and it is dark blue color. If I click and if it is visited, then it should change the color. But it is, when I click, it's nothing happening. That is correct. That means no change happening. That means you designed a link, it is not returning anything, and you are testing people satisfied because you already clearly told them that it will not return anything. Then later, when we give this template to clients, when they implement, how they implement, the void is not returning anything. Later, they can make it return something. How? I want here simply location.href is equal to, here I am using, actually location.href is JavaScript location object which can navigate to any page. I will give the page name home.html. Now what will happen here is when user clicks on that home, it will navigate to that page if that page is there. That page is not there as of now. So what pages are there in this JavaScript? Suppose there is shopping page. I will do one thing here. I will just keep here shopping, and here I will just give shopping.html. Shopping.html. That means it will display like this. And when I click, it will navigate to that shopping page. It is working fine. That means we have to configure JavaScript functions in such a way that they will not return anything. That means generally functions are designed for returning an expression. But if you want a function not to return any expression, then you have to discard the return. How we can discard the return? By using void. What is return? What is discarding return? You will learn in functions. Later we will discuss functions concept. Detailedly you will understand that. As of now, we can implement this. For that, you have to define in this way. So this is a void type. That means syntactically. So I defined, suppose this link. Yeah. This is the link how you configured. First one is without anything. This is empty, right? So this is not implemented. Understood? This is not implemented. That means it is just defined. It is not implemented. But this is implemented. So how it is implemented? The void is taking some command and dynamically it is using href to navigate to that particular location. So that is void. Another important operator is void, right? Next important in special operators, we have new. New. New is nothing but actually it is dynamic memory allocating operator. Allocating operator. New is dynamic memory allocating operator. Already we'll use it everywhere. For example, where products is equal to new array. What does this new means? So where date is equal to new date, right? We used this. What does this new means? It is dynamically allocating memory for array. This is memory allocation operator. We call this as memory allocation operator. It will allocate memory for this particular class and load all its members in that memory. This is memory allocation operator. This is also memory allocation operator. Actually, suppose now if I am defining here like this, where products is equal to empty like this. Here I am not using new. What does this means? It is using static memory. Static memory, and this is using dynamic memory. It is using dynamic memory. What is difference between static and dynamic? This point I explained in the first day of HTML, if you remember. Static page, dynamic page. Remembered? Yeah? What is static page, dynamic page difference? Don't worry. Saturday you will write. Huh? So we discussed about dynamic, static. What is difference between a static page, dynamic page? Why they are called static, dynamic? We discussed about it. Try to recall that. Okay. So dynamic memory allocating operator. New is dynamic memory allocating operator. It allocates memory dynamically for a class and loads all the members into the memory so that you can access with the reference and use them. So new is called memory allocating operator, right? This all comes under special operators. There is another operator, yield, which we have to learn in for conditions and all. I will show you later. But these are basic all special operators of JavaScript. These are all the special operators of JavaScript. So we have arithmetic operators, we have assignment operators, comparison operators, logical operators, special operators. We have bitwise operators. Later I will discuss about them when situation comes related to binaries. These are all JavaScript operators. Now, once we know about operators, now very important, you have to know about JavaScript statements. Statements means how do we work with the statements and how we can handle the statements. JavaScript statements. Generally, what is the purpose of statement is controlling the execution flow. We have so many statements. Detailedly we will see now. We have selection statements, we have iteration statements, we have looping statements, and you have jump statements, and we have exception handling statements. Exception handling statements. These are all the various types of statements. Now we need to learn all these statements one by one, how we can handle selection, iteration, looping, jump, and exception handling. That we'll see tomorrow, right? So from tomorrow again, large scale examples will come. Right, with these statements, we have to build very huge interfaces, examples. So then we will get more perfection, right? Tomorrow we'll continue then. Right, tomorrow we will discuss about all the examples using statements. Then we will go into object oriented programming after the statements are finished. Okay, right, tomorrow we'll continue.